I feel.
Hi. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever, whatever you are, uh, who's are watching this video. Uh, from my side, uh, hello, how are you? I am Sidra Naeem from Sahiwal, and this is Connecting the World program. This interview series is sponsored by Rehan Foundation and Institute of Peace. Today, my guest is Sabina from Belgium, and she is a psychologist. The amazing thing is, and she is related to yoga, and it's doing a lots of thing related to yoga and integrated the lots of thing with yoga, as well as she's working in the spiritual things and the peace, and she's doing a lots of work for humanity, for mind peace. So she's my guest today, and I'm very glad she's sharing screen with us. So over to you, Sabina. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine. I am happy that we managed to find a moment to talk. I'm currently reading a lot of articles, also on anthropology, and yeah, now I'm talking to you.
Oh, that's great. But please, I request to you, tell us a little bit about yourself, for better understanding, for better knowing about yourself.
So yeah, I'm a psychologist, as you said. I am solution-focused psychologist, so I see clients with stress, burnout, anxiety, marital issues, all of those things, and that's what I do for a living. Besides that, I also continue studying, as you said. I'm also a yoga teacher. I mostly use that with my clients, so one-on-one. I give a few tips and recommendations how to feel more relaxed, have a healthy back, all of those things. And now I'm studying also anthropology to have a wider perspective. So that's why I was saying I was reading articles on that. Besides all that, I'm also a lot into permaculture gardening. So that's something you will hear me talk about also quite frequently.
That's really great. But the interesting thing in my coming in my mind, uh, why you choose this subject, and have you any interest before your university or before your colleging? You just plan for yourself. I want to become a psychologist. I'm doing for other people. I'm working for consultancy or peace of mind.
Well, actually, I had some interest in psychology before. I didn't exactly know I was going to study it. I just happened to often find people around me that needed some help, some support. So I tended to do that and to support people the way I could, but I was very frustrated. I didn't know how to do that properly. Sometimes when you try to help someone and you don't know what to do, you can make things worse. And I think that's when my interest in psychology emerged, and I studied the course then, and I had the chance that immediately had a place I could work in Stress Labo, and I learned most of the things you learn actually after you study psychology. When you work with people, when you study a therapy course, that's the moment you really learn what works and what doesn't work for people.
Brave. Okay, my next question is about your subject related to your integrated things with yoga. So, how you deal with people in your polyclinic or in your session or the other areas gives us peace of mind of your client. So, how you tackle the things?
It really depends. Some people are very open for yoga and they are very interested from the beginning to learn some breathing techniques, some easy stretches, something that they can immediately work with. And others, they are very convinced that all their problems are purely cognitive. So they want to think about it and think about it very hard and because that be too pushy of me. So it depends of what someone is asking of me. Generally, every session there would be about two, maybe three exercises. They could be some exercises on meditation. They could just be observation exercise. They could be yoga. And then we build upon that until people have some tools they can use at home. So I'm not really giving yoga sessions in the sense of 1 hour sessions where you just come into yoga and then you go away. I'm more interested in personal practice, what you do at home, so that people really have things they feel comfortable with doing on their own and do every day. That's, I think, very important.
Okay. So, before you, any other person who in your family who are working on uh, this field, and if not, so who's your inspiration?
Well, I had the chance that indeed my mother was already doing yoga for a very long time, and she motivated me. We were going together with my sister and my mother to classes, and that was very nice. So for a while, we're doing every week yoga by ourselves, and it was a very good class where we really relaxed. And then I was like, oh, I really want to study more about this. And there was a book at home, a little red book. I don't remember the title. There was one whole yoga sequence explained in it, and I just, taught myself to do that one sequence, and I did it every day, at that time twice a day, which I don't do it that much anymore. But then it was amazing because I felt so much lighter, so much more focused. I could handle the world much better. And then I thought, this is really something for me. I think this can be useful to use in therapy. I'm going to do a yoga teacher training and I'm going to use this in my therapy. And since then, it's just naturally has a place in my sessions, and most people really appreciate that point of view. Also, many people also, they tend to follow yoga classes additionally, where they go once a week and they do their um, yoga session there, and then at home they do, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes in the morning or in the evening. They do some additional exercise.
Sorry, here is a lots of wrong concept related to yoga. So I just want to know. I will just ask a few questions related to yoga. The one my first question is related to yoga is which is a good time for do yoga?
Well, mostly it's important not to have a full stomach. That's the essential thing. If you've just eaten, you will really not feel well if you're doing some intensive stretches. So that's the most important thing. You can do some, some asanas, some stretches will be fine if you just lie down on your bed and you do some very relaxed, easy poses, that will be fine. But if you are going to do some more intensive things, you really need to make sure that you've at least had 2 hours since eating. Besides that, it really depends on the person. It can be very nice to do it in the morning, to wake up, to sort of wake up your muscles, make sure you're starting the day in a nice fashion. But I also have a lot of people that enjoy it in the evening before they go to sleep, because then you will be more relaxed, deeper, more restorative sleep. So I think those are very good times. And besides that, I also recommend just 5 minutes in between you're doing the entire day of work and focus to a little break, to do some breathing exercises, some easy stretches, nothing difficult, but just to have a break and to refresh yourself a little bit. I don't know if that is the way you would also see it.
Oh, great. So I just know about this when and how we just ready our body to initial level to the next level yoga stretching things or flexibility.
So I didn't completely grasp the question. When is the best time for flexibility, or was exactly the, yeah.
In yoga here are some initial things to breath in breath out and the very beginning things, at the very beginning steps, small steps. After the beginning steps, how we can uh, extend our body flexibility and jump in the next level of the flexibility in the yoga things, or for other stretching things and other yoga postures as well.
Okay, yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So how can you go to the next level after you've just done some warming up and you've got some basic idea of what you can do? Well, what's very important is to start with easy stretches and go to more difficult ones. If you're going to do something a very deep stretch without proper preparation, you run a lot of risks. You can have injuries. So most injuries are while you're getting into the pose. So you also have to really make sure you know the steps. Don't try a pose that's too difficult without knowing the in-between. So what would be an example? Yes, certainly everything with the back is very important for people that have back issues. Don't start and go do something very where you will attend very much way. So you have to build it up slowly and start with the easy exercises and every time go a little bit further without forcing. You're not supposed to have pain. You can feel discomfort, but if you feel pain, then you're doing something wrong. That's very important to know, because many people, they think, it's supposed to feel like that. If I feel pain, it's that I'm getting more flexible. But you're probably getting yourself into a hernia, and that's never healthy.
Uh, like me, I'm a very lazy person, especially for my health, for my fitness. So any motivated thing for me, and like other ladies who love to do something for her body or shape the body, but uh, they need some motivation, they need some spark to do something. So what do you think that how we can convince and how we can motivate ourselves to focus on this thing?
Yes, that's always the key point. How do you motivate yourself to do it? It's not an easy question because you have to do some efforts. That's the whole point. Um, uh, Generally, what helps is to have a easy, reachable goal. If you say, oh, okay, so I'll be able to do a split, make the split extreme, but I want to get better at the split. That almost everyone knows, get more flexibility in your legs. And then you can say, okay, so this is something, if I do it every day and I do 2, 3 postures that improve flexibility there, then maybe in about 2, 3 weeks time, we will really see a difference. And that helps. The motivation is when you see progress. If you do a lot of different things and you don't have this goal, then sometimes it can feel as if you're not progressing. So doing the same exercise for a longer period can help you to see real differences. And it doesn't have to be like that. You can also say, okay, I just want to learn something I think looks spectacular. I want to stand on my head. Okay, so if you say that looks really cool and that looks like fun, then you have to do the preparation exercises. And you've got some preparation exercise where you just already place your hands and you place them in a triangle with your head. And you start to balance your weight on your head without getting your feet into the air. And then, you balance on your elbow. So you put your legs on your elbows in the air, and then you only do that. And when you do that, you're building up into something, and that's something that can be really motivating. Another thing is to visualize how relaxed and how comfortable you will feel after doing these few exercises, because often even 10 minutes can make a huge difference in your day. And quite often, if you ask people, oh yeah, you do yoga, you do half an hour a day, or you do, sometimes 1 hour then and 1 hour then, they say, but I don't have the time for that. I don't know when I will do that. People are just too busy for that. So then, okay, that's fine. Start with 5 minutes or even 2 minutes a day and build it up. The next day, okay, you do 3 minutes. And you will see that if you have these reachable small goals and they're not too big steps, then you will easily get to the next one, and then you will start to feel proud and see the progress, and you continue doing it.
I'm just going to change that question's direction. The next question is related to your profession. How you are using a psychological skill with yoga for your patients, for your clients.
I'm using a psychological skill. Um, yeah, I think there are many psychological benefits of doing yoga. You get more focus, you get more control over your emotions, you are able to organize better, you're going to, have a better idea what you want to do with your day, and many things will just naturally fall into place once you are becoming more aware of them. Once you're having a better physical state, your mental state will improve. That's how I also tell it to my clients. I say, okay, we can work on different aspects. They will all lead to the same result. So you have to say which one you prefer. Do you prefer writing things down and thinking about them, or do you prefer little actions and moving and doing stretches and doing that and thinking about? That's also something we do with yoga. It's thinking about intentions, thinking about what do I want to achieve with this. Do I want to feel more at ease? Do I want to be more focused? What do you want to get out of that? And when you get farther into yoga, you can also know, okay, these are the exercises I do to improve my concentration, to focus, to energize. These are the exercises I do to calm down, to rest, to regroup, to make sure that I'm ready for whichever thing comes next. And then you start to say, okay, so this is my goal. I will 5 or 10 minutes, and I will have a better day for the rest of the day. Is that
Oh,
what
oof,
you wanted
amazing,
to know, or?
amazing. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Next question again from yoga. Some people are saying that during yoga we are connecting with spiritual things. We are connecting with God. We are connecting with um, direct to our creator, to our person who just give us peace. So is it related that it is true we are sitting in a calm posture as just like a meditation, and meditation change our life temporarily or permanently?
Yeah, meditation is something that has certainly long-term effects, and that has been proven in scientific studies. So when you do meditation, even for a course for a few weeks, and you do it just a few minutes a day, it will have lasting results, certainly. And it depends also what you want to achieve with it and the way you do it. I know that there are people and they are not ready at that moment to do meditation, and they are feeling very anxious because they are so focused on all their thoughts, and they feel their thoughts racing with them. And for those people, it's easier to first do just some stretches, some asanas, to focus on that part of yoga. And when you're ready, when you're feeling at ease, when you have enough stability, then it's the moment for meditation. It's the moment to do those exercises, and then you go indeed to the next level, and you can start to get a better idea of what's important for you, where you want to go, where you feel connected to, what are your, your drives. And you will notice those small fluctuations in your moods. You will notice also that connectedness, the things that I hear from people that do yoga more for more longer time, those that start with it, it's often cope with the world, able to survive. And then when you continue, you're more focused on thriving and focusing, okay, where do I belong here? What do I want to do with this time I have? Or what will be meaningful for me? And yeah, that's certainly important to also focus on that when the time is right.
again, the question is about tantrum, about anxiety, depression. So how we can control? What's your suggest us all of my viewers and other people who are watching this video after this. So any tip how we can control our tantrum, how we can uh, control our anxiety or depression things with other activity or with yoga as well as any psychological activities.
Okay, so control anxiety and depression. Well, I don't think you just need to control it. I think you can really change your basic mood sets. The most important thing to know is that it goes to gradual change. You're not going to change things from one day to the next with some magical thing. What you are going to do is, if every day you spend a little bit of time of reflecting what works for me, what do I need, what do I feel better with, what went well today, what did I do for myself. If you ask these kind of questions, you're starting to use your resources and to direct them into the direction you want, to feel more stable, to feel more calm, to feel more confident. And you can feel more confident by doing yoga, because yoga, not only it helps to feel more calm, but also more confident, because it improves your posture, it improves your way of being aware of what you're doing. They say that the most important part of yoga is what you do outside of the yoga mat. And that's really true. So if you use those aspects, if you do yoga and the moment you're practicing doing those asanas, you think, okay, I want to feel more confident. And you do some stretches that help you for that, help you for your posture, challenge you a little bit. And then during the day, you can think back on that and say, okay, yeah, I will think about my posture, I will sit straight, I will sit confidently, and then in the night you can say, okay, how did that feel, what worked, when did I really feel a little bit more confident, when did I really feel a little bit more relaxed. And by that you are changing your micro habits, all those little things you do, how you sit on a chair, how you start a conversation, how you walk into a room. And it's not one thing you change, but it's 1,000 little things during the day, and you make them into a new habit. And then after a while you will notice, oh, I'm actually feeling fine, I'm feeling in control, I'm feeling confident.
Amazing. So again, um, is it important to to come out your uh, old thoughts and any massive thing happening with us in past? So how yoga and the psychology helps us to bring her out or bring me out from this pathetic condition.
If I understood it correctly, you're asking how we can deal with past negative events, maybe traumatic events, how we can cope with that. Yeah. So from yoga, there are certainly some things you do. I think it will be more stabilization and finding meaning that you do with yoga. I think with meditation in itself, I'm using them separately to show that the physical part of the asanas and the meditation is mostly used differently here. Most people that do yoga here do the asanas and not meditation. It's seen as separate, even though it isn't, but still. Meditation, I've got, where is that book? There is a little book, Meditations for Loss. I could send it in the link later. There are meditations that you do when you've had some loss in the past, when you have had something um, that happened to you and you have to work through that. And those are very specific scripts you can speak for yourself. You can read, you can listen to, and you can reflect on a different way, because you're not going to do it very cognitively. You're more going to experience it and trying to feel it with senses and not so much with the words and the thoughts. Another thing you can do is just something that's not specifically from yoga, but I'm going here just into other techniques you have, and that is to really work through trauma with some form of tapping. What you're going to do is you're going to say, okay, so I have this thing and I get very emotional about it. And when that happens, and you just say to yourself, okay, what is this number? And you could say a number from 0 to 10. You say, okay, I've got an 8. I feel very, very anxious about this. You say the number to afterwards see the difference. Then you do a form of tapping. I'm going to show you 2 forms. Wait, just trying to put my camera that you can see. Is you do it like this. You're going to, this is a butterfly. And what you're doing is you almost give yourself a hug, and it tricks your brain into using a different path, different pathway, a pathway that's not the traumatic network. You're going to activate another network, and you're going to literally walk through that event. Another thing you can do, and that's more called the gorilla. How is it called? I can also send it in the link. It's a really that's about the trauma tapping technique, and it's more with gorilla tapping. It's this one. It sounds really weird to do tapping, and most people think it looks so weird, but you just have to try that one where you're feeling very emotional, where you're feeling very over your limit. This is something that just works with your more emotional, more primitive parts of your brain, and helps your whole system to calm down. And so these are techniques that are used in areas where there's regions where there's a lot of war, where there's a lot of conflict, where people need something really fast to just function properly again. And it's been proven that it really helps people in different circumstances in a matter of days or weeks. So yeah, I think it's clear how you can use that and that people can really try it for themselves like this.
Thank you for this trick. These tricks and these tricks, 2 tricks are very. It will be very productive for all of us who are dealing with depression, who are dealing with all trauma. So it's a very helpful, and it is very great help from your side to others. In the end, any message from my audience as a psychologist, as a yoga teacher, uh, how we can how we can live our life happily.
Well, my main message is that change is already happening, and the only thing you have to do is notice it and reinforce the good things you're doing. And those little things you're doing throughout the day, they really can build up to big change and to feel a lot better. You don't have to change big things. A lot of little things is effective enough and move faster. That would be my main message.
Thank you, Sabina. Thank you for your time, for your messaging, for sharing your information, concerns with us, and sharing your speciality, your tricks with us. Thank you. It will change our lives in future, if, inshallah, inshallah. So I'm very happy and I'm very glad you're sharing your screen with us and sharing time with my audience. So God bless you and keep in touch with us. And I really want to disturb you again and again because I really want to work on the yoga skills for myself personally. But I am very poor. I haven't any idea which is the beginning steps and which is the end step and how we can gradually how we can extend our flexibility. So this is another concern, but I'm very thankful to you for your time, for your concern, for your emotionally attachment with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your good
Thank you.
questions.
God bless you. Thank you. Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching this video and showing your interest through messages, comments, and emojis. Take care. Allah Hafiz. I learn and we learn about yoga and psychology today. So please share this video in different groups. Thank you. I'll catch you later with the new guest. Thank you. Take care. Allah Hafiz.